Hearing on YouTube, and you're live. All right, greetings. Well, that's kind of cool. There's a little bit of light shining through. Isn't that neat? I kind of like that. Welcome, and this is my live stream here. Um, I'm streaming both on YouTube here, and I'm also on uh, Twitter as or X. Excuse me, I can't believe I said Twitter. Now I was never I was never really a. Let's see if we could turn this up a little bit. I was never really a a fan of Twitter, and I just never understood it at all. And then this glare, trying to I don't know if it's going to get bad or not, or what, but it I never understood it. Okay, and when Elon Musk took over and I started going on X, I started getting it, and I don't know. I get it now. I almost feel like it's something that you necessarily like can't put into words or whatever. But anyway, I purposely chose to stream on YouTube, and I purposely chose to stream on X because I don't really have a following as of now, and I didn't want to post this on Facebook because I didn't want to have any like personal drama about what's going on. Um, I have a little outline here. Let me bring it um, a little closer to me. So let's see here. There's a lot I need to talk about, but to kind of get to the point of why I'm just streaming is because I lost my job. And I lost my job during the holidays. And that is why I did not want to post this on Facebook, because on Facebook I have a large following. So there's nobody even listening to this now on X, and there's nobody even following me on YouTube. But I plan to change that in the future, and by then it'll be okay for stuff to get out. And oh, look, it's already out there. So, um, but I almost feel like this is going to be a journey of mine now. So every day I'm going to post a new video. And I originally wanted to kind of have videos that dealt with the like the UAP topics, UFOs, those kind of things. And I wanted to do that, but it kind of like it kind of freaked me out a bit. So, and I got something pulled, and it actually like researching UFOs and stuff. It takes a lot out of you, and so it's kind of like a I don't know. It's a really hard topic to like. You have to do other things because it'll drive you crazy. It's like an onion. There's just layer upon layer upon layer upon layer. Um, so I don't know exactly like what my topics are going to be, but regardless, I have a lot of different things to talk about, and I have a lot of stuff that I write about and I blog about, which is on my website, which is www.jeff, that's Jeff, Arico, Arico.com. And you can go there and you could see some of the blogs that I have. I don't have too much right now, but um, I'll be adding more and more and stuff like that. So, and I've done lives before on X, and I do them periodically. Like it's just we've had just like it's just been nonstop. It's one thing after the other, and just kind of like where we are now. Um, this tea is really good. It's Christmas time, and I was let go from my place that I worked at, and I was let go. It was less than a week from Thanksgiving, and it has been extremely like there's so many things that make me feel horrible. Like not only is it just the worst actual time that somebody could lose their job, um, it's now this waiting process to get paid from uh, unemployment and that kind of stuff. And just today, I now have to wait up to 3 weeks. Um, and I was waiting on some information that they wanted. I was trying to get that through my work, and I couldn't get it. And now I have to wait an additional 3 weeks. And then I guess I don't know if it's your 401k or whatever it is. I was trying to do that, and now I have to wait around for that. And just basically like it cut me off right before Christmas. And we were I wasn't in the best financial, you know, position to begin with. And I know people really shouldn't talk about their finances or little in their problems or whatever. Um, and it was just a lot. And I think that what I plan on doing now is doing a video every single day. Not about necessarily what happened to me, not at all. But just having that consistency of doing a video every day because it's something a video, a live, it's something like broadcasting or performing. It's like in my blood. And years ago, when I was let go from Princeton, um, it just it was almost like I saw it as like a downward spiral, and it just got like my life got periodically worse, and I think since then I've been looking to because what I did was I was a DJ on the radio, and then I got into doing the engineering aspect of things, and and I had a child, you know, and God bless my child, and God bless my better half, and we like that was my focus, and I wanted to just work as an engineer there, and less of my attention and my ability went into producing shows, right? And that's originally what I was doing, and I was quite good at it, and I got a lot of prime time slots, doing that. And ever since then, ever since losing that, I don't know. I think like I wanted to put it in like almost put it away for a little bit, and then um but when I was let go, I felt like so lost, and was already at a time where us as a family, we were struggling, and we were struggling. I had to quit my job that I had. That was my full time job. I was working. This is many, many, many years ago. I was working for the state museum, and it was a really good job. I ended up getting like a full time gig or full time position working for the state of New Jersey. And when we had our son, I had to quit. We don't need to get into the specifics, but I ended up having to quit my job. And my son is he's 6 now. And so it was it was a while back, and I ended up like going back and doing some research like during COVID. Um we ended up getting like a place of ours, and then it was just a constant struggle with you know me find trying to find work and everything, and I finally ended up like people would tell me that I should work for in the cannabis industry. um, and it's something that it affects all it's useful medicine that can help someone that's a child, a baby, to an adult. um, so for me to be able to help people with that, um you know it sounded like a great idea, but when I was myself a medical patient, and I knew that the aspects of that were kind of like a retail job. So I wasn't really into doing that. And the other thing is that um I when I was younger, or you don't know, but when I was younger, I ended up getting in trouble, and I thought that would haunt me, and but people were like, "Oh God, it's so long ago. It was over 20 years, and you know, you're fine. Don't worry about it. It's not going to come up or whatever." And um, so, I ended up working, and it ended up eventually coming up. And then there was this thing there, though. There was this clause that if you could show that you were a rehabilitated person, that's okay. Then they'll make a decision. The board will make a decision. And I was so scared, and I thought that was it, because I did, and I was working in the industry, um, and it was just such a blessing to be able to help people with cannabis, and um, and like I said, all walks of life, from your children to adults. And I took it very, very seriously. Um, and I never really wanted to, because of those two factors, that I was also, it was a retail job, and I've worked retail. It looked so scary, but I didn't know what I was going to do. You know, um, COVID was ending, and I was doing this research job that I did years ago, and um, really it was a lot on my mind. And they wanted to, I mean, offer me a manager's position there, and that was way too much and for me to handle. And I remember managing people like remotely from different states and on different research projects, um and I was just I don't know, I guess I really care about people, like, really, really care about people. Um, what they call that, apathy or something, and I care about people to the point where, I put myself in harm's way, and, um, it was just hard for me to kind of digest everybody's problems, and I really felt them, and, taking on my own problems, it was hard to, um, take on, everybody else's, issues and everything. And I really loved what I did, and I was able to, make a long story short, I was really able to, show that, look, this was something happened to me when I was so much younger, and I'm a changed person, and I had all the documents and everything, and all was good. So I went through all that, and all these wonderful people throughout my life. They, wrote letters for me, and I took this very seriously, and at first, it was scary because it was at a time where, um, people that were, 21 and up or whatever, that they were allowing recreational, um you know what I mean, recreational, so they were allowing it to be, and that was when that opens up, when recreational opens up in any state, it's like, I mean, you have lines around the corner, lines out the door, and it was only maybe, like, it wasn't like the first month, but it was that summer, and it was April 21st, um I believe 2022, that it, so um so it was a lot. It was a lot that, I almost just I couldn't take it at a certain point, and but I dedicated myself to it. I stuck through it, and sometimes, like if you ever see, like, people that work in the culinary industry, that they need to go in the walk-in and cool down, right? They won't go in the walk-in cooler, or they go in the walk-in refrigerator, and it cools them down for a second. When you're dealing with customers or whatever you're dealing with, is a lot. Um, it was a lot to deal with, but I made it, and I stuck it out. And like I said, I showed I was rehabilitated. Um, and even before that, I started working there. And I think this is why people were like, you really should work in the industry, because I would film myself, and I would post it on Facebook, and um, it was the time I was a medical patient, and I would film myself, um, as a medical patient, and I would, talk to people about the medicine, and so it was a really cool time. Um, I mean, it wasn't really a cool time, but it was a cool thing that I did. I really didn't have any followings. I just kind of did it to do it. I really did want to eventually, but doing that and liking that was like what I would actually do, um, for work. And then when I actually did that, um, it was an amazing time, like being able to, I would get excited every day before work, um and just helping people, and seeing how happy they were, and just having a repertoire of people, like people would come back to you. I would see the same people, and I would get feedback from people about, how I touch their lives and everything like that. Um, and then, oh no, I'm gonna have to get this. I'm gonna have to end this. All right. Well, maybe I'll go back to that in a second. I hope this guy doesn't keep calling me so I can just kind of wrap this up. So I don't know. I'm gonna have to do a part two because Jesus Christmas. Yeah, I'm gonna have to call this guy. All right, we're gonna have to end this. We'll pick it up. Damn it.